is that a fucking fully capable grown man disrespected the fuck out of what that position meant in that spot, and probably kept some old ass lady who could barely function from being able to make her way to Walmart to get maybe her groceries for the week, because she's by her goddamn self and is gonna starve had she not gotten these groceries, but she couldn't make it now because of my ability to not pay attention, because of my negligence, right, or my ignorance, or my arrogance, right, thinking that I didn't need to be paying attention, disrespecting life by not paying attention, disrespected my life nevertheless, but anyone's around me that could be affected by those ripple effects and that stone I just threw in the water by not respecting my life enough to pay attention, right? So the things that we forego so much in life, I feel like this is where we fuck up in life, right? As men, our pride plays such a fucking role in how we perceive things, or how we convey things, or how we communicate with others, or how we value things, upon which scale we choose to weigh these things, upon how we choose to respond to things, right? I can't tell you how many times I've disrespected somebody so important to me, so close to me, because my pride was more important than humbling myself. Maybe had I not been in my feelings, I would have been able to handle it better. Maybe had I not just dealt with a situation moments prior that kind of had me in my feelings, I could have handled it better. Maybe had I listened when someone in my past had been attempting to drop a jewel on me and tell me about myself, I could have handled it better. Maybe for not all the opportunities I have foregone over my past of failures and successes. Maybe had I not foregone the opportunity to check exactly what it was that I was doing, or be honest with myself about exactly what it was I was doing, or how much of a fault I played in or had in allowing this situation to transpire. If not for my pride, I guarantee you I would have such a more firm grasp on reality, or would have had such a grasp way prior to now. You dig? Like after all the trials and tribulations that I've granted myself the displeasure of experiencing, out of all of those, I can probably tell you that 70% of which I just went balls deep into for fun. Because I knew fucking better, you know what I mean? Or I've been told better. Or I've had someone go out of their way to gift me with the know-how to know better. And I, for whatever reason, for whatever must have been or could have possibly been more important than knowing better at that moment, chose to still experience those hard knocks, right? Having felt this pain in the past, having already been through similar situations in the past, right, still decided that I love that pain enough to go do it again. But I didn't, right? How many times have you sabotaged yourself in a similar fashion, right? I feel like, I would ask any man that I meet that was willing to have this type of conversation with me, or had a brain enough to just sit down for a second, put your pride aside and converse with me. Let's debate on life. People think the word debate is such has a negative connotation. It doesn't. Just because it starts with D. And bait, which bait, with masturbate, exacerbate, probate. It sounds similar to prorate. I mean, whatever the fuck that might remind you of the word debate, it's not a bad thing. It's a beautiful thing because it allows you to absorb and accept others' viewpoints, right? And that's the only time, the most pure times of my life, the most clear times of my life, the moments in my life that will resonate the most where I actually felt myself learning something of value. I actually saw the jewel that I was picking up, right? And this same jewel reappears in my life. These are the jewels that I most value. I've got a big bag of jewels that I've collected along my way. Throughout all of my horrible experiences. Even some of the good, which have been a lot fewer of the good than the bad, but by my own design, man. And when you accept the fact that you're the only person that's going to live your life right, you're the only person that's going to feel these feelings associated with your displeasures and your misdeeds and your bad decisions, right? When you accept that, right? More than just accept it in a saying and just to fucking act like you know better to someone else. But when you personally, deeply, quietly assess this, accept it, after having prognosis, given a prognosis of, to yourself, and a diagnosis to yourself, this ailment that causes you to not love yourself enough to win, right? When you finally fucking embrace that shit, even with the filth that comes along with it, disparity that comes along with that feeling of assessing yourself in that manner. Dissecting yourself so deeply that you have to fucking accept the filth that comes along with who you really tell everyone else you really are when you know you're not, right? When you get nitty gritty with yourself in that manner, when you really get real nigga, when I get real with myself, nigga, you'll realize you'll be disgusted to the point where you should cry. Quietly, silently, and in a hidden place, man, whether it be true tears or mental tears. They're the same thing. And one's a display for whom I don't know. I don't cry unless it's something I can't combat, because a tear to me is something I've used before to convince someone of something. A sales tactic to convince someone how much I truly care, how much I really feel, how much I really need. Fraudulence. Because the minute I have to convince myself of it at someone else's request or bequest or need, it's not genuine. Therefore, not only am I wasting their time, I'm wasting mine. And I'm pushing myself a little bit further from that ability to get beyond that desensitization. I push myself further from being able to just be a human being enough to feel something. Because I've fucked over so many people and done so much foul shit, my nigga. I thought my conscience was dead and buried. Like, you know? I mean, look at me. I just look like this now. If I got a long sleeve shirt on right now, no tattoos visible, and you heard my voice, or if you had the displeasure to talk to me on the phone, and my sales passed, or I'm trying to call you to talk some real nasty shit to you passed, you have no idea what to expect when I walk in the building and I tell you, oh, I'm Drew. Can't say how many people are like, whoa, wait. I sound like a white guy. Or as people would say, I feel like that's a disgusting way to say things. People would say, oh, you sound like a white man. Or you sound like this. Or tell my black homegirl that just speaks with such intelligence, no matter who the fuck's watching, oh, you sound like a white girl. I hate to say shit like that, but you know, just to be able to convey what I mean right now, I'm going to utilize that. But just know it's with complete disgust, and after having tried to find every effort to do so without using that phrase. But you would never know what to expect from me if you were to just speak to me on the phone. So I'm going to talk to you with complete class. I'm going to respect you enough to talk to you with class. I'm going to respect you enough, not even knowing you, to give you an opportunity to show me that you can be treated with the class that I would expect you to treat me with, whether you deserve it of it or not. After you prove to me that you're going to treat me with less, then of course I'm going to modify my approach to you, nevertheless. Or I'm probably just going to modify your accessibility to me. You know what I mean? If you're beneath my communication level, 9 times out of 10, unless it's of a complete necessity, I'm disbarring you from the possibilities of further communication. Because I don't deserve to have to subsist on less, or reduce myself to lesser means, knowing that I'm above that. And I'm on a level of progression, so I say, I'm telling niggas I'm trying to level up, improve, progress, right? Evolve. I'm perpetuating that so much so that I'm willing to put this on video. So how dare I say these things and expect people to buy into that notion and to follow that? Right? How dare I ask of a man to pay attention enough to me to believe what I'm saying is important enough to try it for once, right? If I would turn around and show you the exact opposite in the way that I carry myself. How dare I show that to me? Because I goddamn believe everything that's coming out of my mouth. So much so to the point where sometimes I feel delusional. So much so to sometimes I have to question myself, like, am I a weirdo? Am I looking at things backward? When I watch everyday man around me, next to me, so near me, too much so most often, do the exact opposite of what I feel is the right thing to do. Do nothing like what I do or carry themselves no way near how I feel as though I carry myself. You know, am I perfect? By no means. Do I feel like anyone is beneath me? By no means. But nor will I ever allow someone to make me feel as though I'm beneath them. Nor will I ever again feel subservient to the next man's ideals or opinions. You know, your opinion is yours, and I'll never attack it, right? I'll never disrespect you in the effort to reduce your opinion to being anything less than the most important, or ever make you feel as though your opinion is less valued by me than mine is. You know, when we're in communication, right? Because I would never allow you to do that to me. And I'm very calm, and I'm able to be diplomatic in my decision-making skills. You know, when I feel as though I may be under attack, or when I feel disrespected, or when I feel as though I'm not being acknowledged in the way that I require in communication, or being met in the middle. or when I feel there's no verbal or mental or